I still hear her voice when I close my eyes, trembling and desperate, saying, "Save me. Take me with you." And at that moment I had no idea that my choice would destroy lives, including my own. I was alone, injured, and surrounded by enemies, and yet it was her plea that would haunt me forever. Was I wrong for what I did next? Tell me honestly, because even now I don't know if I was a savior or a monster. This all happened when I was traveling through the borderlands as a lone human scout. I had been separated from my group after an ambush. My horse barely standing, my leg bleeding, and every shadow felt like death waiting to happen. I stumbled upon a small Apache settlement at dusk, already burning, already silent in the wrong way. Bodies were scattered, huts were smoldering, and the air smelled like ash and fear. That's when I saw her. A young Apache woman, her clothes torn, her face streaked with soot and tears, clutching 4 small children to her chest. Her husband was dead, I later learned, killed defending them. She locked eyes with me like I was the last piece of hope left in the world and whispered, "Save me. Take me with you." Those words hit harder than any blade. I wasn't supposed to be there. My people and hers were enemies. I had been raised on stories that painted Apaches as ruthless, and I knew they were taught the same about humans. Helping her meant betraying my own, risking my life, and possibly worse. But leaving her meant certain death. Enemy warriors were close. I could hear distant shouts. The children were crying softly, trying not to be heard, and she was shaking so badly I thought she might collapse. My heart was pounding, my mind screaming to run, but my feet wouldn't move. I told her to be quiet and follow me if she wanted to live. She nodded frantically. I helped her and the children onto my horse, knowing full well there was no way we could outrun anyone like this. As we moved through the trees, I felt every second stretching, expecting an arrow in my back. She kept whispering prayers under her breath, and the children clung to me like I was already their protector. That terrified me more than anything else. We traveled through the night, hiding by day, moving by stars. My leg worsened and I could barely walk, but I kept going because stopping meant death for all of us. Along the way, she told me her name and how she had lost everything in a single night. She didn't cry anymore. Her eyes were empty, focused only on survival. The children barely spoke. They had seen too much, and somewhere along that journey, I realized something dangerous. I didn't just want to save her. I wanted to take all of them with me, far away, even if it meant never returning home. But here's where everything went wrong. When we finally reached a Kuman outpost, my people didn't see refugees. They saw enemies. The moment we were spotted, weapons were raised. I stood between them, shouting, begging, saying they were under my protection. My leader stared at me like I had lost my mind. He said one woman might be spared as a servant, but the children would be killed, and she would be forced to leave them behind. That was the rule, no exceptions. So that's the situation I was in, bleeding, exhausted, standing between my people and a terrified widow with 4 children clinging to her legs. Before I tell you what I did next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my place. Would you have saved yourself? Would you have saved her? Or would you have walked away and lived with it? I didn't hesitate. I drew my blade and put it to my own leader's throat. I told them if they touched her or the children, they'd have to kill me first. The camp erupted in chaos. Some shouted, some laughed, some called me a traitor. In the end, they chose punishment over bloodshed. I was exiled, stripped of my rank, my weapons, my home, and I walked away into the wilderness with an Apache widow and 4 orphaned children, who now depended entirely on me. The aftermath wasn't heroic. We struggled. We starved. We were hunted by both sides. She blamed me sometimes, especially when the children cried from hunger. And I blamed myself every single day. But they lived. All of them. The children grew stronger. She learned my language. I learned hers. And slowly, painfully, we built something that didn't belong to any tribe, just to us. Now, years later, I look back and wonder if I stole their old life and replaced it with suffering, or if I gave them the only chance they had. I lost everything I was, but I saved everyone she loved. So tell me, was I wrong for taking all of them? Like this video if you were on my side. Subscribe for more stories like this. And share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section. I'll see you all in the next story.